So Duckless Quackman. That's a name. Interesting.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Warrior's name.
All right, let's see
Warriors.
here. The upper left could be a 3-3, but I don't think so. The bottom right, I think, is an approach pincer 3-3 variation. I think we're fine here. We're going direction of play instead. Ooh. Okay, Sanrin. Yep, approach pincer 3-3 like I thought. Dropping down is the AI preferred, but note that you are leaving Sente here for the opponent to take a bit of a more larger wall kind of deal. Yoink. That had to have been a misclick. That had to have been a misclick. That is a weird placement. So yeah, here we'd play this one, which is also why I don't like it. The AI drops down so it can eat at the bottom right-hand territory at the right time. You wouldn't want to do it too soon, for example. Otherwise, Black can just keep growing like a crazy person. And suddenly we have even more to reduce, right? For me, I just play the old school variation still. Drop down, take Sente, and then, take bigger point wherever you want it. That's my preferred still. Don't pincer. Good. High or low, it doesn't matter. This is probably the one move that we really don't want to play right now because Black is flashing a little bit of a wall. So if we attach here, we are going to give away an even larger wall. Like if I was Black right now, I would actually just keep drawing this across the entire board because I'm rapidly closing in on 9 lines of territory across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines of territory. I know that's a big number. Also, technically, there's more complicated variations I'm not going to go into at DDK level, but the cut here works. So I played here. Hello.
I have a question.
Yeah. Yar.
If that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the top right, you were talking about how that that from that approach, that bottom attachment for white is bad because white gets pushed down. What would be a preferable option? Would it be jumping out to the left?
I would go high. Yes, I would jump out high because I do not want to be kept low.
Interesting.
Normally, I would even just be fine with like just backing off or even playing something traditional. We don't do traditional here though because we don't want to be kept low like this. So we go high. Normally, I favor this one. Warning, down variation coming through, but it does allow for this little cut Chiseki that goes all over the place, and Black still gets the influence. But if I do a large knight here, I don't have to worry about like any invasions, any attachments. I can't really be kept low here because I mean, I'm out still. That'd be my preferred. This I kind of view as a potential instant loss if you can't immediately reduce the walls that are now in place for Black. Then it's just too much point. It's just too many points.
So in what scenario would that under attachment even be appropriate? When
on an open board, it can be appropriate. On a board that's already cluttered and the influence is because on an open board, we can deal with the influence we're giving away. So, okay, cool. If there's a lot of influence already on the board, we don't want to do it really because we're anticipating giving our opponent more influence, which is usually not what we want to do. Mid game, there could be a bunch of groups around. Maybe the middle isn't worth anything. So the attachment is a direct reduction of points. So then it can be nice and valuable because it's just a free reduction. But yeah, the essentially open board or mid game where the center is already cluttered up would be my two preferred. But if we do it on open board in the early on, we do have to plan for how we're reducing that. Because if we can't reduce it, then as I've mentioned, there are a lot of ways where this just turns into like just 10 points if we're lucky, and a wall this size, keep in mind, that's going to be 10 points. Anything larger than that outvalues the top.
Mm.
So there's a lot of reduction that has to occur. It's just that the AI recommends it because the AI is really good at knowing exactly when to do that reduction, exactly how many moves to are going to be needed to do that reduction. And yeah, those two together are very, very strong, but even professionals struggle with that. Here, coming out is better because we can keep growing the right-hand side. If we're playing, if we play this, for example, and our opponent plays this, that's fantastic. We didn't care about that stone anyway. We can grow, or right now, I guess, play, I don't know, anywhere else. This, yeah, we're being kept low. We don't like being on the third line because we don't get much territory there. And by much, I mean almost none. Because here, for example, we get like 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But again, it's the same thing. If our opponent gets something like this, 2, 4, 6, 8, not hard to equal the value of the right-hand side. This is big unfortunate move because Black can start attacking to continue expanding. I would do later, though, later. For now, I would probably approach here, see if I can grow off this side. That move is dead. I would... Okay, I would do this because I know I can kill the right no matter what's played next. But I guess Atariing down is okay. Okay. Nope, that's dead no matter what. Opponent plays here, dead. 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 Okay. I normally am not a fan of the jump out, but in this instance, I gotta keep that influence under control. Sure, hello. So yeah, I would have gone here into here for reduction there. This is very interesting because now we surround corner. We did not surround corner. What did we do? No, did not go into corner, surround corner. And then he has to play something like this one and then go into there. We can just keep expanding off of our influence, which would be pretty nice. This is killing our 2 stones, which is not so nice. Yeah, that's probably needs maybe a Hane at best. Maybe just another extension. Might be able to hold here, but I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of cutting points now. That one does not do a thing. Honey on the outside. The inside is actually bad. You just give up the extra point to your opponent. Going back a little bit better because there's nothing really there. Just death. Extending. No, I would just extend. Reason being, this is much larger than whatever this is. So there's no reason for us to play here. If my opponent wants to keep playing this, I mean, okay. I will somehow accept the territory I've been given. Oof. I'll let you worry about the cutting points. I literally did say worry about the cutting points. So, I mean, I can't fault you. I can't fault you. Sure. That, however, I don't like. You've done that twice now. Like, we're gonna get tired, like straight down, killed. It is no good. Okay. I'd probably jump it instead of the Atari, just to get a few more points. Go take. I might take the enclose right now. Okay. That is worrisome. Ooh. Ow. Yep. Yep. That's what I was worried about. And also I would have played here instead. There's because those cutting points. Because yeah, here into here, and then that has 3 liberties, that has 2. We know we're in trouble now. I mean, this might be a variation that works, but at like DDK level, I would not suggest it. I would be like, you know what? I'm not creating a cutting point. There, I jumped. 1 point. Easy. Done. Can't cut me now, can you? All right, decent recovery. What to play next? I mean, that is 11 lines, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I mean, yeah, I guess just play here. I usually hate Gote moves like this, but the top is too big. Just make sure he can't come in and win the game. Gote, black can edge in. But at this point, I'm not actually sure white can be pushed back enough to actually lose this game. That's risky. That's probably all dead now. Because there's just 3 liberties here to more than 3 liberties here. And it's just too difficult to actually. Yeah, I don't think we can save those inside white stones. Ooh, I think we're dead now though. Yeah, all this should be dead. Not bad. I'd probably just play the elephant eye. We can cut or draw back. But I mean, this is fine. Can Hane if you'd like. Because I mean, doesn't really go anywhere. Ooh. So here we're in endgame. I'd probably start taking the big endgame points. So many of them are Sentai too. But yeah, I think white wins that one. Uh-oh. Danger. Danger. So you're saying that works, huh? I'm not so convinced. The reason why is we get to this position. It's a cut here and a cut here. We can't do anything about it. I mean, even here, for example, 2 to more than 2. But hard to read that out. Okay. Unfortunately, black now has this one. No, he doesn't. He'll kill himself. Never mind. Carry on. Only chance here technically is a cow. Or that could work too, I guess. Just back off. Sure, why not? Play here, black's dead. Don't have to play that because the cut doesn't do anything. If we play elsewhere and they cut, just don't do this and you're fine. Just stick on the outside and you're completely fine. Okay. Ooh, another co. Oh, another co gone. Yep, that looks like an easy clean kill. Ooh, does that work? Do. I don't think so. That was greedy. Just cut underneath. That's dead. Ooh. No need to play anything in there. If you play even away, there. Your opponent plays the one eye, you grab that one. You can grab that one. This is false. No, no eyes here of any kind. I think that about what? Doesn't quite work because black playing there, technically yes, double Atari, but it's also Atari on the one stone, so you would just take. Not a problem. I think that about covers that game. Interesting one. Interesting one. Any questions?
Thank you. That was me and Aaron's game, and yeah, that was super interesting watching you review all three of those.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, great. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you, Dwayne, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah,
actually, I do have a quick have a quick question. So when you talked a lot about cutting points on the side, and I think there's like a lot of scenarios you saw in all three games where one player was crawling along trying to push the other player down by cutting. I guess, is there any good things to internalize when considering whether to continue to extend or continue to go back and fix a cutting point? So yeah, I guess like these scenarios.
Generally on the second line, your opponent can extend across the entire board and I will like never Hane unless it's already protected. Because that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and you're making way more than 5 points with a wall like that. That's just insane. Third line, only essentially we don't want our opponent to have the ability to, well, usually it's Hane that had 2 and 3 stones. In this case, obviously it's a flat out cut. But that's generally a dangerous thing, especially if the top group's in any trouble whatsoever. So I wouldn't really do it this way. Here gets a little bit risky too, because whoops, Hane had 2 and 3 puts us into like Liberty shortages. So suddenly it's like everything's turning against us. It's usually not till I have the extra liberties there that I'll begin thinking about it, because this should start taking care of itself.
Interesting, because that's like, yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying. That is, I guess, so much further of an extension than I would have ever considered before, trying to Hane somebody down for making like a huge side territory space. I guess on the second line, it's not as big, but on the third line, it looks a little scary.
Third line looks a little bit scary, but it kind of goes back into this sort of thing where a lot of times, for example, your opponent will pincer an approach, and then later on, we'll go ahead and reduce this. If your opponent just wants to push here, that's completely fine, because they're losing the game all on their own. Because again, this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, well, that just means go away, black. If I get something as simple as this, I've pretty much negated the territory that's over there. So the Joseki itself is to stop pushing the third line as soon as possible, because it's so dangerous to do that. Like just settle without giving the territory away. That way, maybe in close to end game when everything's filled up, maybe it'll be worth the points. But yeah, early on, not so much. It's also why we don't like just keep pushing here. Like white will be like, you know what, how about I go do something else and ignore him now, because that's not winning me the game. Yeah, that general rule of thumb.
Very interesting. Thank you.
No problem.